All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I am not sure if I'm going to break this up into two videos or not, but there's basically like 6 tickers I want to look at. Tilray, as you see here, CGC, Sandal, SNDL, you know I love calling it that, HITI. I want to look at MSOS and then Curaleaf as well. So we'll see if that breaks into two or not, but man, there are some really bad things happening on Tilray, okay? And you know I'm not here rooting against any stocks. Like, I really want nothing but everyone to go up, 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 right? Like, we're not playing poker here. I don't need you to lose for me to win, right? So it's sad to see, but again, a lot of this has been what for lack of words is normal technical analysis, right? Like, good things happen over some lines, bad things happen under lines. Once you lose all 5, you die. And I mean, these are words I say on every single video. I'll be honest, I really don't know what the rest look like. Unfortunately, I actually do know what Curaleaf looks like, so that's the last one I'm going to cover, but Curaleaf, man, damn. So we'll talk about all the tickers and more, but before I give you my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, and then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much, but let's get into it. And oh man, I don't even know where to start, you know what I mean? But the simplest place to start is the moving averages, right? What we love to do is break the 8, then go to the 20, then break the 20 and go to the 50, then break the 50 and go to the 100, then break the 100 and go to the 200, and then boom, 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 boom. That's exactly what we did, and then break all 5 and fly. Man, there were moments where this was my biggest stock for what's probably most of this 2-month window. You know, I don't even think most. I think it started around here. I think this was the earnings gap up. I think this is where I took a pretty nice position. I know I started getting really heavy right here on the second peak of the 200. I mean, Tilray was knocking on the door of amazing. All right. What happens is sometimes outside of Tilray, look, just remember this September early, right? Like from the 5th to the 18th, okay? SPX, the S&P 500. Around here is where we start horizontally, and then SP 500 starts to go, and clearly you can see the worst was never over. It's ugly right now, right? Same time frame. DJ30 is the Dow Jones Industrial. Horizontal drop, right? So look, Tilray was close. Tilray stayed horizontal. Tilray had to drop too. I'm telling you, like, when the indices are bad, no individual stock is going to do. And look, I don't look at NASDAQ when I'm talking about the weed stocks, because this has absolutely nothing to do with technology. We're literally talking about farming and buying at a brick and mortar store, right? Like, there's no, you can't even buy this stuff online. It's federally like no, right? So this is as bare bone as it gets, and that's why I don't look at the NASDAQ, but you see it, same horizontal, same horrible drop. And the problem is, you hear me say it all the time, you break all 5 and you fly, you lose all 5 and you die. And literally on this day we were sitting at $2.20. From there, we just drop and drop and drop and drop and drop and drop, and we're now sitting at $1.70. And I'm here saying the worst isn't over yet. It's not. First off, that's an ugly candle on Friday. All right, look, the low of the day, you can see it in the box over there, is $1.71. The close of the day was $1.71. The entire day, people were selling and selling and selling until the very last minutes and seconds, until the market said, that's it. You can't sell anymore. Come back on Monday. right? Like, that's not a good candle. And look, you hear me say it often, a doji, that candle right there on one of my lines, generally says something important is going to come. The last time it did it, we had a pop up, but you know me, right? I say it often. Once you've lost the 8, it is not your friend. And all you do is you go away, you go back up. 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 We're still going away. We are. And another thing you hear me say, right? Green, 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 green. Red, 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 red. And I mean, there's reason to say I could probably draw a line right here. I think these two right there, maybe at a $1.65. What's the 50% of this guy? $1.60. Yeah, maybe $1.60 is worth something. I'll be honest. I think there's just a lot more screaming. I'm not drawing that new line, by the way. I'm going to keep this. Yeah, man. Look, MACD's obviously in the negative. RSI has been low. This right here is an RSI of 14. We're at 30 something, right? Even here. No, those aren't too low. I'm not gonna lie, that's 19. That's not that high. What are you? What's your? That's 19 again too. Damn. That one's real low. 20 again. Like, oh man, yeah. The volume keeps going down. I mean, there's not a lot of good. And then one more time, let's just look at it. S&P 500 looks like it's not done yet either, right? So there are things outside of weed that are happening, all right? And again, I know a lot of people believe in the long run, you know, weed's gonna become like liquor and cigarettes, and yeah, dude, believe me, I hear it, right? Like, I live in LA, I see it. More people get high here than they do smoke cigarettes, probably than drink too, in all honesty, you know what I mean? But end of the day, there's a lot of really, really bad rules to not let people succeed in the industry. And then on top of that, look, we got 2 wars, you got bad indices, like you just, you know, the worst thing that could happen, this is pretty much where I'm going to end it. I'll look at the weekly, but we cannot lose 151. $1.50 is a death number. Why? Because look, we'll see it on the weekly. There is nothing below that line. That is the continuation of all-time lows. It is. And look, I mean, on the weekly, it's kind of talking about the 50 moving average. I don't think it was the 50 moving average that stopped this. I really put more on the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones and S&P 500 dropping. In some ways, here's the doji, and then that's the confirmation after, right? But we've lost all moving averages on the weekly. We've lost all moving averages on the daily. This is the all-time low, and once you lose 150, I mean, you're going to, I always say 20%, right? So that's going to be a 30-cent drop. If you lose 150, I imagine $1.20 will be next, all right? So I do not think the worst is over. I think we're going to come down to 150, maybe that like 160, 165 range will try to save it, but I don't think it'll be a sustained save, I'll tell you that, all right? So at some point, I think we will once again go really far from the 8 and then come back up, but yeah, I don't know if we're breaking the 8 just yet. And look, if we do break the 8, we'll only get to the 20 and stop, only get to the 20 and stop. I don't think we're going to start going to the 50 anytime soon, all right? So not a lot of good on Tilray, all right? Be careful here. Let's come to CGC. And, you know, the last time I made the video, I think I talked about Tilray and CGC, but I made a video on this 22% day, all right? And the biggest thing I kept saying was, number one, I saw no news that really corroborated, that's a good word right there, I hope I said it correctly, but like there was no news that justified an out of the blue 22% run, okay? From there, I mean, look, where was the stock before this? It was below all 5 moving averages and working its way down. It gets a little save, but you know I say it so often. I don't care about a single day. I need confirmation and follow through. That's clearly not it. We are now actually below this one single random candle. And yeah, I think this green is about to be a real quick red. I don't know if this 47-cent line will hold. I think we're going to actually make a pretty quick fall to 41, maybe 44. We'll try to do something. 43. I'm still holding 41. And then same thoughts with Tilray, right? Let's go to the weekly. After 41 cents, we're talking about all-time lows. And dude, there is no place worse for your hard-earned money than all-time lows. In my opinion, you lose 20%, and then if it doesn't hold, you lose 20%. And so like this, after 41, I imagine 8 cents will be lost, right? Just roughly speaking, 4 cents is 10. And that would put us at what, 33, if I'm doing fast math correctly, give or take. Either way, just be careful. We cannot lose 41, all right? CGC, I don't even have that much more to say. I think the one thing is this is now, again, we're now under that candle. All I'm really seeing is a pretty quick, like, man, oh man. MACD's in the negative. RSI has been super, super low not that long ago. Volume ain't that good. I mean, volume was down here, and that's pretty much what it seems like we're coming back down to as well. You know, I mean, CGC, there's not that much to say, and this is kind of why I said in the beginning, like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do all 6 in one video, because these are all looking pretty grim right here. Let's come to SNDL. Man, okay. I can't get back. I don't even know where to start right now. All right. I think the important thing to say is I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, right? But you can see if you watch my videos, when I say lose all 5 and die, when we lose $1.60, and then knowing that roughly speaking, every 15 cents is about 10%, we've lost about 30 cents and we're now down 20%. That's literally what I just pretty much said on CGC, right? Like, when you lose key lines, get ready to lose 20%. On the flip side, when you break key lines, like when you can break the 200 right here at $1.80 and then fly all the way up to basically this line, yeah, it doesn't surprise. When you do good with a line, you get that. When you do bad with a line, you do this. And the problem is, this ain't over. Are we? No, they're still, oh man, I gotta draw another. Let's get rid of this trend line. There's no reason for that to be there anymore. You know what? I gotta decide. Oh man, we're already below that. So I swear, I would have actually probably put my all-time low line right there. I clearly see these candles, right? Maybe this one right here, like, that's, I guess, the biggest of the little bunch. Whatever, close enough. We're not here for perfect. That line, we're basically sitting at right now, I think that's the one that matters more, because this is the biggest candle in this little like, oh man, SNDL is really screaming, I want to come into all-time lows. And man, like, I know there are a lot of the viewers I like, you know, I enjoy talking with you. Like, this is scary. And really, it was game over right here. It was actually pretty much game over right here too. Excuse me, when this couldn't hold, oh man. And then what are we doing? Under the 8, back to the 8. 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 We're still going under the 8 right now. And it looks like we're going to slip all-time lows and just 20% after 20% after 20% until the hand of God just catches this thing from the heavens. The problem also is, again, the 50 moving average line. Again, I still say the same things. You can see that September to 18th horizontal before the drop. That's the same September 50, like here to the drop of the S&P 500, right? So I know most people don't think of the S&P 500 and SNDL, right? Like that's not the hand-in-hand stock, right? But hey, remember, things aren't much better than the indices, and then when the indices are good, everything's good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll look at the weekly, but what's there to look at? Nothing, right? Yeah, again, we kind of talked about that. Like, this is screaming. The weekly RSI has been as low as 13. It was 13 again right here. We're still at 48. This thing can still go super low. It can at least come down to 30. SNDL, the worst ain't over. Let's take a look at HITI, HITI. You know what's so sad? The so sad thing is there were moments where I was saying, because this was the earnings right here on High Tide, and the line caught it and it looked like it wanted to go, and I was actually talking about how it seemed like this was due, because look, on the 18th every other weed stock goes down. The S&P 5, look, on the 18th, all right, SPX, just in case you fast forwarded, on the 18th, S&P 500 dies, all right? On the 18th, the DJ30, the Dow Jones Industrial, on the 18th, this thing dies, all right? Let's just look at TLRY real quick. On the 18th, it dies onward, right? High tide, come on, bro. High tide goes up on the 18th. I remember saying, I think the market's ready to like the high tide. Like, I'm not taking the words I said back, right? Because you know, if you watch my, I'm here to be louder about my mistakes and hope you all say I'm right to your friends, and that's how others come, right? But high tide looked like it was just doing the opposite of the market, because everyone said this earnings was good. Everyone said the last earnings was good, probably somewhere here. Everyone said the last earnings before that was good. And hey, maybe I zoomed out too much, right? But basically, the viewers have liked the last 3, if not 4 earnings here, and it finally took this one seemingly for the market to say, okay, high tide, I believe. The problem is the market kept going down and down. It wasn't just a week, it was more than a week, and eventually the pool of the bigger indices brought this one down. And man, where other stocks are significantly below all 5, this one's finally there, and it's sad. Because now, unfortunately, we're talking about coming back down to a buck something, maybe a $1.25. And dude, if a buck, damn, that sucks. I can't believe I got to draw this. Yeah, I think that's the line right there. I think we're going to come to $1.30. If that doesn't hold, man, it might be a quick drop to... It seems like this is going to come down a few more cents to $1.30. From there, it might be a really quick drop to 115, and then we're talking about the $7s, and then a big gap from there. I don't want to talk about anything lower than that just yet, but the problem is this is now my 5th weed stock, and they all look bad. All right, again, the good thing I want to talk about again is this little moment, but it's just, it is what it is. And this is why this is why I say sometimes it's just, the best thing to do is just not trade, man. Like, these are scary conditions. All right. So, it's sad because high tide should have done better things. It would have crushed it in a better market condition. It really, really, really would have, in my opinion. But that's just what happened. We're below all 5 moving averages as of this week. This is the first week, right? But that 2 lines should have held better than it did, and clearly it lost it and fell real hard. So MACD's about to slip into, this is sad. Like, you can hear it in my voice, man. Like, this is not what I wanted to see at all, right? But yeah, man, just bad things happen under the moving averages, and once you lose the 8, you go to the 20. You, like, just as confident as I am, as you break them, you go up. As you lose them, you work your way down, and again, lose all 5 and die, right? So high tide is not looking fantastic by any means. All right. The next one I want to look at is MSOS. This is not something I look at very often. All right. MSOS, again, same basic things, right? We just lost all the moving averages. We then unfortunately confirm really, really badly. Green, 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 red, 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 red. It seems like we're coming back down to, what was that? Sorry, like $4.90. And then after, what's after that? It's all-time lows, right? So there's a lot of lines on MSOS. My goodness. Let's delete all of these, actually. Delete all. Thank you so much. So again, you can see it much clearer right here, right? Once you break all 5 and fly, break the 8, go to the 20, break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100, break the 100, go to the 200, break all 5 and fly. As you start to lose them, you go back down in that same green, 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 red, 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 red. Like the rhyme sounds cute, all right, until you're on the wrong side of the queue. All right, like, you know what I mean right there, right? So I'm gonna put the line right here. That's pretty much our all-time low support. Once you lose 490, that's our death line. I'm ready for it to lose another dollar, actually, because roughly speaking, 50 cents is 10%. I always say get ready to lose 20%. That's a full dollar, basically, taking it down to 390. Sorry, almost dyslexic right there. If that does happen, that has to hold. And the problem is there are so many of those Canadian tickers that are pushing all-time lows and pushing well under the moving averages. I know Tilray has absolutely no bearing on MSOS, and if it does, hey, sorry, I'm not here to be professed, right? But like, professional is what that was supposed to be. But like, this is US mainly, right? I don't know if Tilray and CGC, like, I'm pretty sure those are just Canadian only. But for me, honestly, I'm a little US centric, and I do believe that the market is, you know what I mean? Like, me personally, I'm not US centric. I don't want to sound like a D-bag, right? But like, I do believe that the market is very, very much damn, what I'm saying is the opposite of what I was supposed to say. Damn. All right, hold on. Let me reverse that really quickly. Though Tilray has nothing to do with this, I still believe Tilray is the king. Okay, so there are two. Okay, let me finish my first one before I correct myself. I do believe that the markets are U.S. centric. I said that about CGC not that long ago. There was some like big EU news. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of the viewers disagreed with me, and I very humbly I accepted it, right? But yeah, I believe that the U.S. news matters way more than the Canadian. All right. That said, what I really wanted to say, what the real point was though Tilray has nothing to do with this, Tilray controls the weed sector. After it, I believe it's CGC. That's just my opinion. But those Canadian ones are really important for these US-centric ones as well, all right? So that's actually what I wanted to say. And the fact that Tilray is doing poorly and CGC is doing poorly makes me worried for MSOS, all right? So, and then really quickly, CURLF, right? Yeah, Curaleaf. Again, I live in the US, so I have to look at the pink for a Canadian. Curaleaf looks exactly like MSOS, right? Green, 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 red, 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 lose all 5 and die, right? So MACD slipping, RSI slipping. I mean, there's a lot of bad, and then it just seems like we're going to want to come to here. I'm not going to correct that. It's okay. We'll keep that. And then if that loses, basically come to here. That one I'll fix. If we lose $2.34, all-time low fears, just like the rest of them, all right? So really a lot of bad on this sector review. Be careful out there, all right? Like, the markets, I don't think are close to being corrected or ready, all right? So, hey, be safe. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as always, thank you.